Hey there, people, it's Fresh Mark Sense with another fresh review, aka Zest for Life. Today, I'll be talking about 3 fresh, creamy scents that you could use in the summer, and also because we're in winter time, they would have varied, a varied, creamy warmth, freshness that would be unique and make you stand out from the crowd, because a lot of people are wearing woody scents, and to wear something that is clean, fresh, and slightly sweet without resembling most of the blue scents would set you apart from the crowd. So let's get into these aquatic, salty, sweet scents. The first one I'll be talking about is Le Male in the Navy. I picked this because not everybody knows about Le Male in the Navy. You may have heard about the Le Male line. I don't actually have the original Le Male because I don't like lavender as much as some other people. But I think it's a great scent. The Artemisia is used in a nice way, but I also don't like Artemisia in Le Male. So this one has no Artemisia. It opens up with C notes, ambiguous, and vanilla in the base, and that keeps it very sweet, very creamy, fresh with that C note. It has some salt note as well, and opens. If I was to spray this, I sprayed it on my t-shirt a little while ago, and you get that creamy fresh vibe like Gourlane L'Homme EDT. That's more of a lemon creamy fresh, and this has a clean, clean C note freshness, which is uninterrupted but is added with that vanilla. So it's not lemon, it doesn't deter from that freshness. It just has the freshness of the C mixed with vanilla. So it's quite a basic scent, but it does it very well. So salty, creamy, and fresh. This really sets up all the numbers, and basically sets the tone for the rest of the video, which is going to be kind of similar scents, but there's more niche versions, and this is definitely a niche version of that. This is Carolina Herrera's Under the Sea for Men. There is a ladies version. Sorry about that. So there is a ladies version, which is kind of creamy fresh. It's a violet inspired scent as well. This also has violet in it, but this goes in a juniper berry and angelica. So it starts off green, fresh. It's got the creaminess of Prada Luna Rossa Black, which has angelica also in this. So it's got that green creamy freshness, and then it's got C notes and violet leaf. So violet is quite a creamy, sweet. It's not too powdery. It's quite milky. It's used in Mancera's. There's a Choco Violette. There's violet in there mixed with hazelnut and vanilla to make it creamy, but that's more of a chocolatey scent. And this uses C notes and vanilla with the contrast of juniper branch, which is quite sour and green. So the sour green freshness mixed with the vanilla and aquatic notes make this a unique, calming C note smell. And I feel this can be used in winter if you actually want something that would be closer to the skin, but very warming and relaxing, but refreshing at the same time. A very refreshing break from the woody scents, as I was saying before. But I think that this is a great perfume in the summer. It really shines in summer and springtime, but you can wear it in the autumn or winter if you want something creamy fresh, warming, and naturally revitalizing with that green angelica and juniper branch note together. So Carolina Herrera limited edition. You might not be able to get your hands on this, so I've got another one that is a little bit more accessible, because I'm not a perfume snob, as you know. A lot of the perfumes that I choose are under £1 per milliliter, and this one is no different. Cartier Pasha Edition Noir is a soft, woody, violet, and aquatic note scent. Has some pepper in there. It opens up creamy soft with the violet. The aquatic notes come in. There are some citruses in the top. You don't get too much of that. It's more of a sparkling nature of the perfume that stops it from being linear, smooth, and aquatic. It does resemble Prada Luna Rossa, the original, in its creaminess, because it has some ambroxan in it mixed with violet to produce a creamy, milky, smooth note. It's not as woody as the Pasha Parfume, the yellow one by Cartier. It goes in a completely different direction. Has a little bit of mint in it to keep it scratchy, fresh, with that pepper. When I spray it, I'm going to spray it one more time on the place that. Yeah, so the opening notes of a tiny bit of citrus with the aquatic note, mixed with the creaminess of violet, as I said before. And then it goes into a slightly dry, woody note. And that's when the pepper slightly kicks in. So there's pepper and clove. So the pepper opens it with the citruses, and the clove provides some spicy, just another dimension, a supporting role to the dry woodiness. But this is dominated by the aquatic fresh notes with creamy violet, and it just has a little bit of a woody citrus, slightly spicy vibe. I do see some comparisons with Ultramel, but Ultramel is on the whole sweeter. It has a richer amber, which is a lot contributes to a sweetness. It also has pear in it, and I think it's a lot more of a dark mist fragrance. This is a lot. This is a great daytime scent, I'd say. Not very noir edition, not very dark scent. I would pick Tom Ford Noir over this in for a dark scent, but this is a very fresh, casual daytime scent. Pasha Cartier Pasha Edition Noir. So definitely check this one out, because I got this as a tester for £35 for 100 milliliters. So this is an inexpensive, everyday, and great for work as well. Be very clean with a grey suit and a nice white shirt. You can go to work every day with this and you never have any regrets, because it's not overbearing, and it has quite a sophisticated, mature black tea note. This isn't actually in the notes, but it comes off as black tea when mixing the after spice note of clove with the slight woodiness and creaminess of the violet and the aquatic notes mixed together. Mixes something creamy and milky with some water and some spices. It does remind me a little bit of tea, more, or albeit a more spiced tea that I'm used to, because I have chai tea a lot. So it's a sort of dry black tea and clove spices. It does have that kind of smooth vibe. So definitely check this out for work and daytime. Pasha Cartier Edition Noir. Next one is something a little bit more fancy, long lasting, for people who want something that's going to last all day. The last one, the longevity of that is about 1 to 1 hour projection, or 1.5 hours projection, and about 4 hours on the skin. Not too great for people who want beasts of fragrances. This isn't going to deliver or tick all your boxes, but it's a great fragrance nonetheless. But for those people who want beast fragrances, Jardin exclusive by Mansira. Yes, this is a caramel apple. You got ambiguous, you got that violet and rose note in the base, you got some vanilla and white musk. Opens up with that white peach. You get the blackberry and caramel and apple most strongly. More of a sour Jolly Rancher apple, because it's bolstered by the sweetness of blackberry. So sour Jolly Rancher apple in the beginning with that caramel, mixed with ambiguous to give a salted caramel vibe. Very juicy, very fresh with the white musk in the base. You can smell this all from the bottle. And the great thing about Mancera fragrance is what you smell on the bottle is what you get for the first 2 hours. Those opening top notes of caramel and apple are very delicious, gourmand and fresh. This doesn't actually have C notes in it, the only one that doesn't have C notes, but it does have that sweet, fresh vibe because the creaminess of the Bulgarian rose mixed with the salt does give almost a C note vibe, yet it's slightly aquatic with the musky note of white musk in the base and white peach in the top note to give a more juicy, effervescent, sort of sporty feel. So sporty, sweet, caramel, gourmand, fresh. The aquatic note comes from the white musk and the creaminess of the violet, but it's definitely a fresh, creamy, slightly salty perfume. Note the salty because the ambiguous is a heavy clash with the sweetness of the apple. Some people may not like that. Some people think they're smelling a gardenia or a garden full of flowers. But I think the white florals aren't too overpowered. There is some jasmine in here, but I don't think it's so overpowering that it would detract from the sweetness of the green apple and that caramel, and you'd always get that little bit salty note. But I think it's a beautiful perfume, so definitely check this one out if you can in store, or if you can get a sample. I blind bought it, but I was not disappointed, so check that out. 120 ml. It's a great price if you can get it for £80. I got it for about £80. So check all of those out if you want to stay fresh, creamy, sweet, and a little bit salty, so you can have an ulterior alternative freshness in the winter months. So that out of the way, I hope you like that. Subscribe if you like this content. I got to talk about the state of society that we're living in right now. See, lots of rules are being come along. We live in London, for all these people watching outside of the UK. Talking from London, there's lots of rules being passed on the anti-vaxxers, but I don't say I'm anti-vaccination as such. I say I'm pro-choice. If you want to take the vaccine, that's your choice, that's cool, but at least allow the choice for people and not have forceful vaccinations. This was almost passed in the Plan B that was passed yesterday. Boris Johnson says that we should have a vaccination pass to go into nightclubs and social gatherings and the like. And I think that this has produced a two-tier society. And the government is no longer willing to listen to protesters because there have been new laws passed to stop protesters who are A, too loud, B, blocking the road, or creating another disturbance to traffic, let's say, or even locking arms. So locking arms with one another to stop us from being thrown away or put in prison and the like, when protesting in a peaceful fashion along the road. This stops protesters from being beaten up and dispersed by the police, because this has happened in the past, and I've seen this as being a member of protests in the past. Since 2008, actually, the anti-austerity protest, when we were all supposed to be part of this big society, yet we were left alone. And now we are told to take a vaccine for everybody else's health and safety. I say enough is enough, and pro-choice people like myself and the people who have even taken the vaccine but believe in a democracy and believe that everybody should have a choice of what they should do with their own body, should not back the forcing of vaccine passports and forcing of people taking the vaccine through having less rights of other people. So we shouldn't be goaded into this position where we don't have the same rights as vaccinated people, and we can't travel, because where does it end? There's been a lot of hate and scapegoating towards anti-vaccinated persons, but a lot of people have died and been um, a lot of people have died and been injured by by taking the vaccine, and this is all highlighted in the yellow card report. So if you believe in medical freedom for all, and you don't believe that we should have a two-tier society, one vaccinated and one unvaccinated, who have different rights and different rules for each people, whilst um, also realizing that the 1% have been negating all the rules that we all have to obey, the 99% of us have to obey, then you would also have the same sentiment that we have to do something now about our government. Protest laws have been restricted, and I think that the only way to stay free is to have an open dialogue about this and stop the censorship. So stay free and stay fresh.